Welcome to day two.
Welcome to day two, everyone. If you made it this far, we're so proud of you. Just keep on going. Remember to post your design in the community. This is what this challenge is for. We just share with other artists and just even outside of social media. We all need a break from social media. So without further ado, let's do it. Day two.
So yesterday, what we did was that we just made a character. Today, what we're going to do is that we're going to continue to refine that character, but with three different things. We're going to identify a quirk. A quirk is basically something that makes them stand out or something that makes them unique. The second thing is the color palette. Going to explore some color palettes. And the third thing we're going to do is explore like some poses and things like that that match with your character's vibe, because that's how you're going to start to know how your character looks or acts in different situations. So so today is going to be a lot shorter than yesterday because we've actually gone ahead and finished everything before we started. So we're just going to talk about what we did. Joel's going to go first.
Yeah. So let me share my screen.
Wait, let me actually go first.
Oh, okay.
All right. And Joel, you can go first.
All right. I don't know. My mouse isn't lagging.
Also, thank you for being here. I know you can also be, just like yesterday, you can be anywhere else, but you're here with us. So thank you for being here. We're super grateful to have you here. And I hope you're just as pumped as we are to get this going. Okay. All right.
So basically, yeah, this is the design that I came up with this character. So what I did was I wanted to focus on the quirk of this character, right? Or not even a quirk. I would say like the overall kind of broad stroke of this character. I think one of the things that I really focused on was the idea of this character being an underdog. So I thought of facial expressions that would convey that a little bit. And I purposely drew all the faces where he was kind of looking the other way or not straight at the viewer. And the one on the bottom, the pose in the bottom right, is trying to convey something, a surprise, maybe something that involves, so, I guess, a longer story, perhaps. But I was just thinking of how heroes, well, I guess a reluctant hero, for example, they might be there's always an element of surprise, a surprise of their responsibility within the story, what they're tasked to do. And I just wanted to draw that out. And yeah, and then for these poses I was thinking about light and shadow in a way where I guess it it conveys.
What about the
feeling,
colors, Joe? The
you know?
colors. Why did you pick those colors?
Yeah, the colors, I would say, they're kind of earth tones, and thinking about this character in the terms that we spoke about, underdog. Let me see what the brush strokes were. Underdog, middle child, wanderer, reluctant hero. I didn't want to choose colors that flashy, or project like a overwhelming sense of confidence, because I didn't want that to overshadow the nuances with the character. This character might feel self-conscious about themselves, their abilities. So I want colors that almost kind of blend into the background, because that's how the character feels like. I
Mhm.
feel like, psychologically. So that's how the colors kind of relate to the character. I wanted to pick like pastel colors that weren't too uh bright and catch too much attention,
Mhm.
because the character this character doesn't want to capture, the attention of others. So I was thinking about colors that were muted.
Yeah.
And that's the idea behind the colors. So with your character design, you don't want to choose random colors, right? You want to choose colors that emphasize the personality of your character, um, and the quirk of your character, perhaps, or even just the broad stroke personality of your character. It doesn't really, colors don't really need to speak on like the whole backstory of the character. You don't have to be so detailed about it, but
And Joy, you had two color palettes, right?
yeah, I do, but I didn't have time to finish the other. I didn't have time to finish the other color palette.
Let me see the first color
So I
palette.
just
All right. Well, Joel's looking for that second color palette. Um, I'm gonna show you
oh,
a.
it's this one
All right.
color palette on the bottom left.
Okay.
I kind of I with this other color palette, um, the colors are less bright, and I thought you also want to choose colors that make the character stand out. Like at least you want to have at least one vibrant, close to vibrant color in the color palette, just so that it kind of creates like a visual marker for the character. Um, like for example, like the belt in this one is orange, right? So it's something that's a little visually striking. Whereas with this color palette on the bottom left, it's not really too many colors that stand out against one another, kind of blend into each other, all blend
Yeah.
into each other, which could be problematic.
Yeah.
Because
So
that's that was the that's why I kind of chose not to work with that one.
okay.
Um,
Yeah.
Whereas these are a little bit more
So
strong.
you have any tips, Joe, for where people can kind of get the color palettes?
Yeah, sure. So there's a website called color.io,
Okay.
and I can share that.
Color.io. And then another thing is just look at some of your shows that you like, different animations or cartoons or animes that you like, and look at what colors they use there, because that will help you to inform what colors you're going to be choosing. Um, Another thing Joel did not talk about here is that, well, he actually did touch on it, the character expressions that he chose for the different faces. So this is we're getting actually here to a basically a character expression sheet. So depending on how realistic, if you do want to do animation, for example, depending on how realistic everything is, you may not even need a actual turnaround sheet. So I know a lot of people are like they need to do a turnaround sheet or they want to learn how to do it, but just depends on how complex your characters are. If you do want to do animation, or even if you want to do like a very complex like long comic book, you may not even need to know how to. You may not even need to do a turnaround. You can just focus on. I'm going to show you now something that I was
Well,
working on.
I just have the this is the
Oh,
site. It's called coolers.io. So you just go onto the website, and then you with your space and your computer, your space tab, kind of gives you just all these different colors you get to play around with. You could even save one and then mess around with the other ones. Save one, and you can also just export it too. You can export the colors, PDF as an image. I just screenshotted mine. It's faster that way. But yeah, this is a super cool site because it just makes creating color palettes easier. Now, one thing to know is that this website, for some reason, a lot of the colors are pastel. I don't know why. But if you like pastel colors, especially, it's this is a great website. But if you're
Yep.
really looking for colors a little more, uh, flashier, then I wouldn't recommend this one. But yeah, all the colors are pastel. That's just a quick tip.
Nice. So while you're doing this process of making the expression sheet as well as the coming up with a color palette, something else you can do. Okay. All right. So this is it's not colored and it's not as finished as what Joel was showing, but one of the quirks that Joel wrote down was that he always eats candy. So I added a like a little bag like tied around the little like tunic armor. So he always carries around this candy bag, and then maybe other people see it and they think it's like a bag full of like money or something, but it's just like candy. So I thought like it'd be funny if he kind of carries it around, and maybe sometimes he gets into like fights and stuff because people think it's money, but it's just like candy. Also it's not colored, so it's just like he's sitting on two stools, just kind of relaxing. Um, and it's just like it's like an exploration, like So when you're doing day two, you can do some explorations like this, because also it helps you to see how your character looks like in just like life, like when they're just living their life and things. Um, this is the this is like the opposite of actually needing like a turnaround sheet. A lot of people talk about needing a turnaround sheet, but if you kind of nail down like different poses of them, like just in their day to day, along with some expression sheets like Joel did, you can actually get away with not even needing to do a turnaround sheet. Because it's so time consuming, and in many cases, if you're just working solo, you're not gonna hire a team of 100 animators, or you're not gonna hire a huge team. The turnaround sheet might actually just not be worth it for you unless like you really want this as a portfolio piece or something. But in the case of like being like a indie small creator, just save yourself the time and hassle and just do like an expression sheet. So that's it for day two, basically. Joel, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah. I would say just have fun with it. Like,
Yeah,
don't put so much pressure on yourself to make a perfect design. This is not like that's not what we're like. This is not what we want to project in this challenge. What we want to project is you having, making a decision and just, doing what's asked of you and more, even if you have time. Um, and I would say for this challenge, do what however you how much you can, but at least 30 minutes to 1 hour, of this challenge, all the 3 days, because you'll see the progress, right? Just trust yourself, trust your ability, and post in the community, because that's where we're gonna give you long comments. That's where you're gonna interact with other artists. That's where we also have different channels where you can interact with other artists and like post maybe inspirational videos that you've been seeing. It's all in the community, and that's very exciting for us, because
yeah,
we want to bring you, we want to help you, right? And the community is great for that. So that's that's day two. Again, don't even put pressure on yourself, until so much pressure and make something that looks perfect. That's besides the point. It's all about the process. So happy day two,
yeah,
and
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 another
and believe in yourself.
yeah, believe in yourself. And another big thing is please post that into the community for day two. Just like yesterday, you're gonna have 24 hours to do it. We're looking at and seeing who's doing the work, right? So, like Joel said, please just post your day two update in the community. Show your sketch and your show what you've done for day two, and then include like a backstory sentence in there also. So tomorrow we're actually going to spotlight 3 artists who are bringing their OC to life. Okay, so um, just to make it a little bit easier for you if you're confused about what we were showing you, um, so make an expression sheet. Like Joel made 3 different expressions. That's cool. You can do 3 expressions. Um, and then start, thinking about what their clothes, what they're wearing, some colors like Joel had done, and then like a little backstory. And then, so what I wanted to tell you now, you have in these last 2 days, you're doing already what like most artists have like do in a whole month, and it's hard to imagine, but yeah, imagine like imagine what most artists do. Okay, and you've done already that. You've already done more than what most artists do like in a month. So remember
Yeah,
tomorrow we're gonna bring everything together, so you don't want to miss day 3. Yeah, that's it.
yeah. And then the final note is that, did you know that 70% of people, right? They wish they could be more creative, but they're not, right? 70% of people wish that they could be more creative, but they're not. So you guys are, right? So champion that. Let the world see that. That's what this challenge is about, right? So see you on day 3.
You got this.
We got this. Everyone's got this. And also, if you want to, post it on TikTok. Post it on TikTok if you feel like it. But just know that we're going to give you detailed comments in the community.